Joining us now is newly sworn-in Democratic Congressman Ben McAdams of Utah. He had one of the biggest upsets of the midterms, flipping a ruby red seat blue. Good morning, Congressman.
Good morning.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. Yesterday, you voted against Nancy Pelosi to be Speaker of the House. Why didn't you support her?
You know, throughout my campaign, I said that I wanted to see new leadership from both parties in Washington. And so that was simply fulfilling the promise to deliver on that expectation from my district that we would see new leadership and new ideas in Washington.
So do you think that she can be an effective leader?
You know, I think now that the election's passed, I'm going to work with, both sides, with the new speaker, work with Republicans and Democrats. I think we've had enough divisiveness over the last several years. It's time to move this country forward, to find common ground, and really address and try to tackle some of the tough issues that we're facing as a country.
Let's talk about how that could possibly happen today. From where you stand, I mean, granted, you've only been there, 24 hours. Do you think that there's any way to break the impasse today and reopen the government?
You know, I hope so. This is first and foremost, we've got to get back to doing the work of the people. There's important issues that need to be addressed. And look, there are going to be tough debates over the next couple of years, tough issues that we have to try and tackle, and there's going to be strong ideas on all sides. But we can't let every disagreement result in a shutdown of the government. We've got to be able to continue to do the basic work of the people as we have other important debates, as we search for common ground. But we've got to keep doing the basic work that the American people depend on us for. That, the basic services that the American government provides have to be there, and we can't just shut down the government every time there's a disagreement. So I'm hoping that we can find that common ground, get the government back up and going, and then move forward to discuss important issues like border security and immigration reform and what we can do to protect dreamers and provide a pathway for dreamers to stay here legally. All of those things are important and need to be addressed, but we've got to keep the government open in the meantime.
Well, look, as you know, the shutdown has come down to President Trump's demand for a wall. But yesterday, and in fact, many days over the past weeks, the president seems to be redefining or rebranding what a wall would look like. So let me just play for you what he said yesterday in the briefing room.
The wall, you can call it a barrier, you can call it whatever you want, but essentially we need protection in our country. I have never had so much support as I have in the last week over my stance for border security, for border control, and for, frankly, the wall or the barrier.
If the president calls it a barrier, do you think that today Democrats can eke out some deal if everyone agrees it's just called a barrier, and will they give billions of dollars for that?
You know, I think that's a step in the right direction. Border security is important to all of us. Immigration reform is important to all of us. We have a broken immigration system. That is really at the root of the problem. If we can put on the table reforming our broken immigration system, and then also I'm talking about important issues like border security, I think there's room for common ground.
Okay, let's talk about the target on your back, if there really is one, as we said in the intro. You are Utah's lone Democrat in Congress. 80% of your district identifies as Republican or unaffiliated. Republicans think that they will be able to take back your seat in 2 years. So how do you walk around the halls of Congress if there is a target on your back?
You know, I've been successful in Utah because I work hard. I've been the mayor of Salt Lake County for the last 6 years, representing 85% of this district. So I know the district, I know the voters. My secret to success has been hard work, relentless work, and then I'm a good listener. I meet with my voters, meet with the public, listen to the concerns that are on their mind, and then work really hard to represent them. And I'm not new to the people of Utah. They've seen me in action for 6 years as the mayor, and now as congressman. I'm just going to continue to deliver the same level of service, the same type of service that I've delivered over the last 6 years. And I'm confident that I'll be able to continue to serve long into the future.
You had a really sweet tweet about your first moments in Congress yesterday and about your kids. And I just want to read it. You said, first debate of the 116th Congress was between my kids and Rashida Tlaib's kids about what is more monumental, being the first one in 2019 to dab on the House floor or the first to floss. And that is really cute, and it stands in stark contrast to the video moment that we've been playing of Rashida Tlaib using quite profane language to talk about the president. So let me play that moment for you. Okay, so there she was talking about her children in contrast to how you were talking about your children and on the larger issue.
Conversation that I was having with my kids last night is they were talking about the few votes that were cast yesterday while they were on the floor, that they were disappointed to see that every vote came down to a party line. And can't there be more common ground, even on some of these, technical motions? Can't we find common ground? They'd like to see me and others crossing over and finding room for agreement. And so I hope that that can be the tenor of the next couple of years, is reaching out, trying to build that common ground, find things that we can agree on. There are going to be important issues where there's passionate disagreement on both sides of the aisle, and I get that, but let's look for those areas where we can agree, where we can find common ground and try and tackle some of the tough issues that we're facing as a country.
But do you sense from your fellow freshmen that some of them are in no mood for compromise?
You know, I do sense that from some of them, and I just that's not who I am, and that's not what I think we need in Washington. We need to recognize that there is disagreement, and I come to the table with strong beliefs and strong passions as well. But let's bring those to the table and make the dialogue stronger, and then look to find those areas where we can agree, where we can build common ground.
Congressman Ben McAdams, thank you very much. We appreciate you being on.